Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Riva TV. Cardi B, the queen of modern women, calling women delusional for this. Please accept them below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow. It's chow time.
I got a message for y'all from Cardi.
All right, so this is what I believe in, right? Like,
Me
it's
too.
like if you're gonna be the type of like you want to take care of you and everything, but it's like, all right, you have to like pick a balance. Like, it's like you cannot just be a. It's like, oh, my man take care of me. He does the bills, but it's like, what do you do? What are you contributing? Like, it's like, all right, like you can't be complaining like, oh, I cook, I clean every day. It's like, okay, but you don't work. You don't contribute to the house. So I just feel like it's like, and like sometimes people be like, oh, so this is like really controversial, right?
Go ahead.
I feel like it's very controversial when like be like, oh, I don't go 50-50, but it's like, all right, so if you and your man make the same amount of money, right? But only your man is the one that paying all the bills. How you ever gonna save up to like buy a house or buy a business? Cause he's never gonna be able to afford to. So it's like certain things is like a joint thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a work together.
I'm blown away at her thought process on this right here, because this is how Asian families think.
But I just be feeling like sometimes people, like the internet really be having people fucked up from like real reality type thing. So it's like, all right, so your mom and dad used to work every single day, right?
Yep.
So your mom and dad used to work every single day so your mom could save her money and buy purses and your dad just pay all the bills. That's not how it works. It's either your mom was in the house cooking and cleaning every day, your dad was working, or they was both working to pay both the bills. Like, y'all be acting like y'all don't know what that is like no more. Like, come on.
And your mom money was your dad money, and your dad money was your mom money.
Like, it was like that.
That shit was all together.
Like, it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not a feminist anymore, because it's like, sometimes it's like, y'all be living in the real world.
Right.
Y'all not living there.
Y'all be talking about my money is my money and his money is my money.
I mean, my money is my money, his money is my money. But like, my money is my money. Like, my money is my money and his money is his money. But it's like, but you know, like, it's like we both spend money on each other and everything. And it's like, if we want to go and everything, it's like, all right, like if we're gonna buy a house, like let's go half and half. And it's like, if we're gonna buy,
it's not a one-way street.
It's not a one-way street. Like, it's like if we're gonna buy like crazy expensive furniture, it's like, all right, you buy the couch and I buy the dining room set. Like, it's a both thing. Like,
right.
It's a both thing. Because then when you leave, like, you really leave for nothing. Because you was like, hey, but he has to pay all the bills. Well, you're divorced and you don't got no house, no nothing. You don't have the cash. You don't even got a couch. You don't even got a couch. That's my thought. I'm really old school. I'm old school.
Old school too.
So Cardi B, she did an interview, and basically, I guess this was like a little side conversation that they were having behind the scenes that they decided to capture and put it on the internet. But, you know, Cardi B is just basically calling out the delusional behavior of a lot of these feminist women who believe that a woman has to, only be with a guy that makes so much more money than her, and she doesn't have to lift a finger, soft wife life, soft girl era, all those things where, there is no contribution from the woman's point at all when it comes to the dynamic of the relationship. And she's calling it out, right? So she's calling it out and she's making it known that this is not reality. You guys are delusional. This is why she literally said, this is why I'm not a feminist anymore, because I realize that you guys are taking an inch and running with it. You guys are running all the way. I understand, the support. I understand the unity. I understand the structure of the two people working together. But y'all are taking this a bit too far. You guys are dragging it now, right? Yep. Now, interestingly enough, although I am not surprised, women in the comment sections were going off. Right? Who are you to give us dating advice? Your man was cheating on you. You're this, you're that. You have a man who has a whole bunch of...
The woman just said you need to work together with your man. Really? Was that so difficult for all of these feminists and all these women to digest, that you need to work with your man to build wealth and to build your future together? You need to spend money together? That's not controversial at all. What she said was nothing controversial. I tell you guys all the time, my family, my parents, all of my family, my aunts, my uncles, all worked every single day. their asses off together, and now they are millionaires, built massive donut empires by doing that together. There was no way that my uncle could have done it by himself. There was no way that my aunt could have done it by herself. They needed both of them to work tremendously hard, and they needed the kids to help. All of my cousins went to the donut shop when they were kids and took care of donut shop stuff when they got older. It's just what happens. This is how you build generational wealth. This is how you build strong, tight-knit families.
Already know how a lot of the women a part of the sisterhood are going to respond based off of it not, the narrative that they want to be painted not being painted. Once you start saying something that makes a little bit too much sense or sounds like you are offering a little bit too much support or understanding to the man's point of view, women run the other way. Women are like, absolutely not. We will cancel you. We don't want to deal with you. We don't want this. We don't want all of that.
Women hate chow and coffee, that's for sure.
What I thought was very interesting was that, she while calling these women out, she said, oh, you guys are not living in the real world. You guys are not operating in reality. I thought that was interesting because, Cardi B, her whole claim to fame was her, quote unquote, authenticity. Right? It was from social media to her when she was on the reality show. Like, a lot of people gravitated to her because she was being authentic. She was being who she really is. She was being herself. And in being herself, people felt like, she was very relatable. Whether they could relate to it or they knew somebody who was similar or whatever the case is, they appreciated her ability to just be free, be herself, and not think of or care about what other people think. What's been happening, though, is that as she is growing, I don't know if it's just, mentally or just maturing or whatever the case is, there is a lot of contradiction between the reality that she's living and the quote unquote authenticity that she's spewing. And it's very contrary to the lyrics that she sings in her music. Very contrary. You see, somebody like me, if I'm going to be really honest with you guys, I've always known that she had a certain mindset. One, because of the background of, how her cultural backgrounds between her father and her mother. And two, whenever Offset put out this video years ago, after her song WAP came out, this is when I knew who she really was.
That's my thought. I'm really old school. I'm old school.
Old school too.
You need to stop lying on your songs, man. She be lying. She clean. She got to clean.
I'm gonna punch you in your head.
Lying to you folk, somebody you don't clean.
She understands what's necessary.
If you hear in his voice, he said she's lying on her songs, saying that she don't cook and she don't clean. She does clean. She has to clean. Which means that based off of my standard as a man, that's what he's saying, I wouldn't even be involved with her, or we wouldn't have even gotten to this step if she was not of a certain mindset.
Correct.
That's something that I command. That's something that needs to happen within my space. She has to be a woman who is a part of a certain nature that is going to do these things. Just like around the same time when her song came out and people on the internet were complaining, but she was previewing the song, and when her child walked in the room, she shut it off. So the standards that she's presenting about her actual home life, it's always shown the vast difference to what it is that she is singing or the lyrics that she's spewing out in her music. Very big difference. Huge difference.
I actually don't listen to Cardi B. I don't really listen to hip hop, rap too much. I don't even really listen to music much, guys. I tell you guys that all the time. But it makes sense why women would be selling these things. It's what sells. It's what's making money. So of course they're gonna push these narratives, even though they don't believe it themselves. It's lining their pockets.
She said it, in the end of that conversation, she says, she's a real old school woman. She feels like she's supposed to build with a man. She feels like there's nothing wrong with supporting one another, and there's nothing wrong with unity. One thing that I have to say is that, first off, let me just say this, okay? Whenever somebody says something, I don't just brand somebody off the bat, right? If somebody says something and I disagree, I will wholeheartedly disagree. If somebody says something and I agree, I will agree. That one person can say something I drastically disagree with and then turn around and say something else, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I agree with that. Because when I have these conversations, it's not targeted towards the person. It's targeted towards what it is that they're saying. My point of view based off of what they're saying, right? And I think that there's a point that we have to understand the accountability necessary when you are growing, or maybe when you're maturing and you are saying things that directly correlate to the things that you're speaking out against. And what I mean by that is, she's speaking out and saying that, a lot of y'all become real delusional. A lot of y'all thinking that, you're just supposed to buy bags and you don't have to cook and you don't have to clean and you don't have to do anything about that. And a man's supposed to provide for you. But
That's exactly what women think. Isn't that crazy, guys? The idea that motherhood and wifehood nowadays is just chilling at home, doing nothing, maybe occasional cooking, maybe some cleaning. But, brunch with the ladies, freaking Birkin bags, and Louis Vuitton this, and all these things. And very few people can afford this lifestyle that everyone seems to clamor for.
But in actuality, they're doing that based off of the things that they see from people like you. You are the one, that's showing the Birkin bags, the this, or that. You're the one that put in your music that you don't cook and you don't clean. You're literally spewing these same things. So you're actually adding to the delusion. A lot of women believe this because of the things that they've seen you do. Or not just you, but women who are very similar to you. It's all about, what a man can provide for them and nothing about what they can provide because they are the prize. This whole mindset and narrative that a woman is the prize is all compromised by a lot of the things that are going on right now in media. That's real. So I have to, call it out.
Again, shout outs to Riva for always calling these things out. Out of anybody that would be a pick-me or a chameleon, we talk about chameleons all the time. I highly doubt that she's one. I think she had a wonderful father and she had a wonderful rape upbringing and she sees what's going on. She's been pretty genuine, and from all the videos I've ever seen her in or do, it's rare to have a woman genuine like this that actually cares about the topics that us men speak about. So give her some support.
Talking about the delusional women, talking about their inability to connect with reality, talking about how, a lot of these women got it messed up. Again, it's being spewed on all facets of media, whether it's TV, whether it's movies, whether it's it's everywhere. Back in the day, when there was like other rappers out like, Lil Kim and Foxy and stuff like that, it was a very big difference because there was, I feel, a balance. Right? The raunchy stuff was kind of like a very small sector. And then there was more of like, love songs, R&B songs, men who talk about courting a woman and women who talked about like, what I'll do and I'll make.
They all became red pilled and stopped making those stupid songs because they realize women are not, angels anymore.
Love to you and the kind of woman that I am and how much I want to cater to my man. There was that balance. Now across the board, there's none of that. That's how much we can see how much the change has occurred. to be honest, a lot of the women who are delving deep into the realm of being delusional and oh yeah, I need a man who's gonna pay all my bills. I'd rather be single and pay all the bills myself until I meet somebody who can pay all the bills, instead of meeting somebody and we go half and half. Like, that's crazy. That literally makes no sense. That's why most of these women are gonna be waiting in vain. Because you think that somebody's gonna come and help you and assist you and do all the things for you. But character building have you done?
I tell you guys, this story, I was dating a girl. I told her, oh, you know what if you moved in with me? And she was like, oh yeah, I can do that. And I was just like, just hypothetically. And I was just like, hey, I only pay $700 rent. What are you paying now? And she was like, oh, I pay $1,850 for her 1-bedroom apartment. $1,850, right? So I was like, all right, so if you moved in with me, and would you split rent? And she was like, no, that's your job. You're supposed to take care of the rent. And I straight up told her, so you think that I should pay for everything, even though it would have made you save, what, $1,500 plus a month by paying your own bill 50-50 with me? And then she really thought about it. She was just like, oh shit. Yeah, exactly. Women get to this mindset that they're so greedy that they want the man to take care of everything. They don't even do the numbers in their stupid little heads because their girl math is fucking not even math, that they don't realize the benefits that they're getting out of it, monetary wise, lifestyle wise, and everything. They just see, oh, 50-50, but you're the man. You're supposed to take care of everything. Bitch, you're paying $350 compared to your $1,850. Why does it even matter that it's 50-50? You saved $1,500 a month. But yet, you want me to pay all the bills. That's so crazy.
What about you is going to make it so that he feels like he is getting something out of the deal in return? What I've realized is that a lot of women are trying to find somebody to heal their childhood traumas that are based in financial distress, right? So maybe because you were raised in a certain situation that you had less than, or you had, certain, demographic around you that you guys had to do certain things or buy clothes from a certain store or do certain, you feel that it is going to be this man's duty to just elevate your whole lifestyle, change your entire life, and give you the life that you've never experienced because you just deserve it so much. You're just so deserving. And you don't have to cook. You don't have to clean. You don't have to be supportive. You don't have to, rub his back and tell him everything is going to be okay. You don't have to do none of that. All you have to do is be woman, and that's supposed to be enough. Again, that is why a lot of women will be sitting there twiddling their thumbs, waiting and waiting and waiting, and nothing's going to happen.
Yep.
Unfortunately, like I said, they're going to be waiting in vain. They're just going to be sitting there looking around. Well, I thought he was going to come in my 20s. Well, I thought he was going to come in my 30s. Well, I thought he was going to come in my 40s. Relationships are all about unity. That is the one fundamental rule about being in a relationship, is that you are creating a union with somebody. Like whenever you're involved in for example, a team, or I'll say it like a credit union, right? Like if you're in literally the credit union, you have certain benefits that come from you being a part of that union. That's the whole point. When you're in a relationship with somebody, a man is supposed to be getting a benefit. The woman is supposed to be getting a benefit. You guys are supposed to be coming together. If you have the dynamics that you are going to be the homemaker and your husband is going to work and pay everything, that's amazing. Kudos. Nothing wrong with that. Your contribution is being the homemaker. The house can't function, the meals, the clothes being washed, the whatever the case is, all that is very vital for him to be able to just focus on whatever it is that he has to do efficiently, focus on the job, focus on whatever. That is a union. If we want to be honest, there's a lot of people, especially in this time of very high inflation, that two parties are going to have to work. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Yep.
It makes sense more than anything. I don't get why people want to be so strong and independent, men and women. Men wanting to live by themselves, paying $1,800, $2,500 of rent, when just live with roommates. I live with roommates. I live with my brother and I live with my friend from high school. $700 rent, utilities paid, and everything. I live a pretty minimal life. There's no need to go so extravagant to show everybody that you live by yourself. Oh, that you have your own place. Who gives a fuck? Survive, save money. That's more important than showing off that you're capable of whatever people want to show that they're capable of.
You're working, he's working, you guys are building something together. You guys can get together, you can create plans, you can have a vision for, 5 years, 10 years, whatever plans that you guys want to do. You guys are able to elevate, you can save some money, you can go on vacation. Like, you guys can work together. What's so interesting is that there's so many women who are willing to be roommates with their homegirls and support and help their homegirls, but when it's a man in the picture, they feel like that's a problem and they don't want to do that.
100% correct.
It's backwards thinking. It's twisted. I don't know where, again, I believe, especially in this era of social media, that women have come to this place where they just feel that, based off of other people being able to, quote unquote, secure the bag and get somebody to pay their bills and pay for their hair and their nails and their this and their that that is the only relationship that they should aspire for. And they have to understand that is not everybody's reality.
It's very few people's
not.
reality.
If every woman in the world feels that is their reality, let's just look at the statistics, the numbers, and the data. And we would all see that unless you guys are all going to be in a house sharing the same man, that does not make any sense.
The future.
That's just real.
Nick Cannons.
There's nothing wrong with building and growing. A lot of people that you see who are high earners, whether that is in any race, a lot of them, they either met in college, they met, whatever the case is, and they build together.
This is a big one. Yes. Even my best friend Chris, he works for Google. His fiance works for Hewlett Packard. They're both PhD, in anthropology. They both are really high earners, and they've been together ever since college, and they've built together this whole time, and they're getting married. They've only are starting to get married now, but they've been together for over 10 plus years. They have apartments together. They have property together. Why? Because they both earned a good amount of money and contributed to the house, contributed to the household to build the fortune. That's the part where I'm so confused by Americans and by, I guess, feminist standards, that the man is supposed to be able to just build everything himself while you just stay at home and take care of nothing, in a sense. No, and he needs your help. Just like Bill Gates. His wife helped start things, helped do things, probably helped do a lot of things around the little Amazon offices to help things get moving. That's why he was perfectly willing to give her half his shit. He was like, you know what? I might not have what I have if it wasn't for you doing the things that you did. Maybe I would have. Maybe I wouldn't have. But I do appreciate the things that you do for me and the things that we've built together, you can take it. I am much more satisfied with it than if it was she just stayed at home, did nothing. I built every single thing with my own goddamn 2 hands, and then she gets to take it.
They get to a place that they no longer have to work because of the effort and the work that they put in together. Again, if you're in a situation that, your spouse is somebody who does have the ability to pay all the bills and you are a homemaker, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But it does not mean that your relationship is the goal just because your man does that for you. Another reality is that a lot of these women don't understand the what other people get to obtain the lifestyle they have, what other people have to go through, what other people do.
Ooh. She's right. Some of these women probably ate dirt in a sense, stuck with that man when that man was down on his luck. He had nothing. And now they're living the life. Why? Because they stuck with him. They stuck with that man. They ate dirt with him. If a woman ate dirt with me, the likelihood of me leaving that woman is just so unlikely. You know how hard it is for women to eat dirt with you? Because they don't have to. They really don't. They can just go and find somewhere else to eat. But they're willing to eat dirt with you. It says a lot.
A lot of the things that, these women look at how, oh yeah, her man does all this stuff for her. Oh, her man does that. You don't understand the depths of what she does to receive the benefit. While you over here trying to tell your man how much he needs to be like that man, you don't even know what it takes to be that kind of woman that she is. You don't know the intricate details. Again, I thought it was very interesting that she, she spoke out about how she's not a feminist anymore, because I think that maybe, as she's maturing, she's just realizing that it is a very 100% against the grain thing. Where if you're not doing what all these women say that you should do, if you don't feel like your man should bow down to you, if you want to be in a happy relationship and go through things and work things out and create peace within the life between you and your man, and you don't feel like he has to pay for all the things that men have done in the past to you, these feminists don't want to hear it. Mm-hmm. He's got to bow down. He's got to worship the ground you walk on. He has to kiss your feet. He has to do all these things. Otherwise, we don't want you in our feminist brigade. Because although we say it's about equality, it's actually about us being the higher power and them being beneath us.
We say it all the time.
So anything that you are talking about that, doesn't talk about the woman benefiting at 100%, we don't want to hear it.
This is true. This is why they fight against 50-50 custody. Why would you fight against 50-50 custody? Oh, because women are losing out. Women are the ones that are supposed to be getting all the custody and all the child support. That's why.
And when women are outwardly and speaking out that they were a part of that and they were cool with the system, and now they're looking at y'all like y'all delusional, somebody needs to wake up. In my personal opinion, I agree with what she said.
100%.
I already gave you guys my whole backstory of her participation in the mindset of these women. But, I'm just happy that the conversation keeps going broader and broader and broader. We keep seeing more people coming out saying, okay, I'm tired of y'all foolishness. Like, I'm tired of the foolishness. I can't do this with y'all no more. This is ridiculous. Because if nothing else, it's causing more women to think. It's causing them to say, hold on, wait a minute. No matter the garbage that they spew, no matter the disagreement, no matter if they calling her out, it's causing women to think about the things. Next thing you know, the guy that's trying to get their attention, who can help them pay their bills, who they can build something together, they might look at him a little bit differently based off of these conversations becoming so broad. Because it's not a stamp anymore that says, oh, he's supposed to pay everything. Now it's like, wait, Maybe I should give that guy a chance. Maybe I should give that guy a call. Maybe I should change my way of thinking. That's what makes sense to me. That's what the aim is.
Shout out to Riva. It's sad that women don't see the contradictoriness of Beyonce, Cardi B, Rihanna, and all these women that are so high powered but still conform to a wife. Please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.